Good morning. My name is Mirabel. I'm very glad to share with you the life story of all the best rapper in America. Please subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos of your idols. Next, Nasir's B. Dara Johns. Nasir was born on September 14th, 1973, better known by his stage name Nez, is an American rapper rooted in East Coast hip hop. He is regarded as one of the greatest rappers of all time. The son of jazz musician Dara, Jones began his musical career in 1989 and is to adopt the moniker in a Nasty Nas and recorded demos for Large Professor. Nas debut album. His will later feature on the 1981 song Live at a Barbecue by Mean Swords. Nas debut albums Illmatic in 1984 received universal acclaim upon release and is considered to be one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. In 2020, the album was inducted into the Library of Congress, National Recording Registry. His second album, It Was Written in 1996, debuted atop the Billboard 200 and charted for 4 consecutive weeks. The albums, along with his single, If I Wrote the Word, Imagine That, catapult Nas into the international success. Catapult. Both released in 1990, Nas albums I Am and Nostradamus were criticized as inconsistent and too commercially oriented, and critical fans feared that his output was declining in quality. From 2001 to 2005, Nas was involved in a highly publicized feud with Jay-Z. Feud popularized by the diss track Ether. It was his feud, along with his Nas album Systematic, Got Sons, and the double album Street Disciple. That album story, his critical standing, after scratching the feud, Nas signed to Jay-Z's Def Jam Recordings in 2006 and went in a more provocative, politicized direction with the album Hip Hop Is Dead, and his until ninth out studio album. In 2010, Nas released Distant Relative, a collaboration album with Damian Marley, donating all royalties to charities active in Africa. His 10th studio album, Life Is Good, was nominated for Best Rap Album set in 55 annual Grammy Awards. After receiving 13 nominations, his 12th studio album, King Disease, in 2020, won him the first Grammy for Best Rap Album at the seated 3 annual Grammy Awards. His then followed by his releasing his 13th studio album, King's Disease 2, as the album's sequel. In the same year, his 14th studio album, Magic, was released on his Christmas Eve. King Disease 3, and his 4th consecutive album was Power Producer's Hit Boy. In 2012, The Swords ranked him second on his list of the 15 lyricists of all time. In 2013, it was ranked 4th on MTV's Hottest MC, and the GameListAbove.com ranked him first on their list of the 15 greatest MC of all time. In 2014, a year later, Nas was featured on the 10 Best Rapper of all time list by Billboard. He is also an entrepreneur through his own record label. He served the Associated Publisher, a Mass Appeal magazine, and co-founder of Mass Appeal Records. Nas has released 15 studio albums since 1994, 10 of which are certified gold, platinums, and multi-platinums in the US. Nasir's band Dara Johns was born in the Brooklyn borough of New York City on September 14th. To African American parents, his father, Dara, was born Charles John III, is a jazz and blues musician from Mississippi. His mother, Fanny Ann was a U.S. Postal Service worker from North Carolina. He has a brother, Jabari Fred, who raps under the name Jungle and is the member of the hip hop group Brave Hearts. His father adopted his name Dara from the Yoruba people Nasir, as the Arabic name meaning power and protector, was being named son of the Arabic. He is the cousin of actor Yara Shahidi and Shahid Shahidi. As a young child, Ness and his family relocated to the Queensbridge houses in the borough of Queens. His neighbor, Willie Throgh Graham, influenced by his interest in hip hop by playing his record. His parents divorced in 1985 and he dropped out of school after the 8th grade. His dad educated himself about African culture through the 5% Nation, a splinter group of the Nation of Islam, and the Nuwabians Nation. In his early years, he played the trumpet and began writing his own rhymes.